Welcome, everybody, to the Avengenerds podcast, where we talk Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host, Peyton, and with me is my co-host, Horn. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. We got a great show for everyone this week. We're, of course, continuing Batman month in the lead-up to the Batman releasing March 4th. With last week, we did the Tim Burton Batman movies. So if you want to listen to that, go back and listen to last week's podcast. But this week, we are going through the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Are they underrated? Are they complete garbage like the reviews suggest? We will answer those questions. So one of those may be true and one of those isn't. One of them was interesting. The other one, we'll get to it. But of course, we got the news of the week. We got some No Way Home news. We got some Loki season 2 news. Of course, the Peacemaker finale. So why don't we head straight into the news of the week with some Star Wars news. John Williams will reportedly be returning to compose music for the Obi-Wan series. The GOAT returns.
Yeah.
Now, per the report, it seems like he only might be doing like 1 or 2 tracks.
No.
But shit,
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
John Williams is John Williams.
John Williams
is like
compose
the main theme.
He needs to compose the whole track.
He really should. But damn.
I need that man to get his money.
Just give him more money. Anything John Williams does, it's like he elevates movies so much. Star Wars, Superman. Fucking, what didn't he do? Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he did.
The GOAT, man. Truly the GOAT. But
top 5 composers,
definitely 100%. He's up there. Yeah, he might be number 1 to be honest.
Number one, and number 2 is Danny Elfman.
Personally, I'd say Alan Silvestri.
Alan Silvestri is an honorable mention. Arguable for top 5.
No, I think he's top 5. You know who I don't think... Okay, here's an unpopular opinion. A composer that I don't think deserves to be in top 5, that everyone seems to love, and I don't really...
You're going to say Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, it's Hans Zimmer.
Oh, fucking idiot.
It's like his scores obviously aren't bad. He's an honorable mention. He's still way up there. But just a lot of them I just don't find memorable, and he does a lot of the blah things, you know what I mean? But yeah. But next piece of Star Wars news. This one's actually pretty interesting. Jon Watts is in talks to direct a mysterious Star Wars series for Disney Plus. Rumored to be the previously rumored High Republic series, whatever that'll be. But yeah, Jon Watts is rumored to be at least a director for whatever series this is. Jon Watts doing a Star Wars. This man's career trajectory is wild.
Off the fucking charts.
Like he went from like doing like this like I don't even know like an indie film, and that's pretty much like one film. That's pretty much it. And then he's on to Spider-Man. He's doing Spider-Man. He did a complete Spider-Man trilogy, a really successful one and a really good one in my opinion. And now he's rumored to be doing Star Wars. He's doing a movie with Brad Pitt.
And he's doing Fantastic Four too.
And he's doing Fantastic Four. What the hell? This man's career trajectory is weird. I've never seen something like that like at all. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does with Star Wars. Moving on to some Marvel news. I'm going to save DC for last this time. Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who also directed episodes for the upcoming Moon Knight series, will direct a majority of the episodes for Loki season 2. Because, as we all know at this point, Kate Herron, the previous director, said she wasn't going to be returning for season 2 for reasons unknown. Which sucks, but, you know, they gotta move on. So they got these Moon Knight directors, which is very exciting because the Moon Knight show seems very well directed. I'm very excited to see if they sort of try to replicate Kate Herron's style or if they try to bring their own flavor to it, because it seems like the way this series is going in season 2, it seems like it's going to feel different. You know what I mean? I am excited to see where this goes, and they seem like pretty good directors. So yeah. Next piece of Marvel news. This one has me depressed. No Way Home's digital release has been delayed to March 22nd, previously dated for February 28th or March 1st. But it is rumored that, well, there's a couple rumors that part of this is because No Way Home is still doing well on the box office. They don't want that to stop anytime soon, especially considering we're already in late February, which is weird to think about. But also that they might be releasing an extended cut of No Way Home, which is rumored to be releasing March 11th. I don't know what that's gonna be like, because they released an extended version of Far From Home back in 2019 with the little Peter getting ready for his trip. So it's not like this is the first time they've done this. I don't know what this will entail. There's, the leaked-ish names of the deleted scenes with Matt Murdock, and also more Spider-Man multiverse stuff. So if those would be included, shit, I might have to go and see it. You know what I mean? I'm definitely. It depends how much footage is there, but I'm definitely tempted to go and see it again if there's an extended cut. But I also wonder if they're gonna release that with the Blu-ray. I doubt it. I'm still mad they cut out the Far From Home scene. I'm still mad about it. I'll never not be mad about it.
Oh yeah, people were saying how it wouldn't fit with a tone of the movie.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
I'm actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go to that March 11th thing. I'm gonna go to it.
Good. When is March 11th? Is that a Friday?
That is a Saturday.
A Saturday? No, it's a Friday.
Idea.
It's a Friday.
Yeah, it's a Friday. I just shut my handy dandy laptop.
Yeah, I'm definitely, if that ends up becoming a real thing, I'll probably go see that. But on to some DC news, and all the DC news is pretty much just Peacemaker stuff. Peacemaker has been renewed officially for a season 2, and It's also being reported that James Gunn will both write and direct every episode. This man is not getting a break.
His fucking brain is going to be fucking mushy.
They're still filming the holiday special and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 right now. He still has a Suicide Squad, a spin-off show in development, and Peacemaker Season 2, which is they reportedly want to start filming this year, this fall or something like that. I mean, this man is going nonstop. This man hasn't slept in years. But yeah, with that has come with the Peacemaker finale. What are your thoughts? Spoilers, of course, for the Peacemaker finale and the Peacemaker as a whole.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you're getting spoiled. Finale, I think it was pretty good. Kind of convenient, but that's the whole point. I wish that I was part of it, if it was me in it, you know what I would do, bro? I'm kidding. But I love how, we kind of saw a different side of Goff. Of course, him and Myrn, or Goff and Myrn had conflicts or whatever. But Myrn was saying how she's pure evil and she just wanted to take over the planet or whatever. When in reality, Goff was we just wanted another home to have our people on here too.
And humans were killing their world, and they want to go through that, so they wanted to essentially save the world. By essentially taking over the world. So it's the finale definitely brings up an interesting question, because humans are killing the world, and these butterflies are trying to save it essentially, but at the same time it brings up it mirrors Peacemaker in the sense that in the Suicide Squad in the beginning of the series, he's like, he does whatever he needs to do for peace, no matter how many men, women, and children he needs to get it or whatever. They're essentially doing the same thing. They want peace, and they are willing to do anything to get said peace. And obviously, Peacemaker doesn't go through with that because he's grown and changed and whatever. And he even asks himself whether he just doomed the world. And Anabayo, I think, accurately brings up, like, I mean, maybe you did, but also, if you didn't, then we wouldn't have free will. So it's a double-edged sword, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's just like one of those things to where, like, there is that dilemma to where it's like, yeah, they're essentially taking over people's lives, and like, killing them, kind of like a thing, which were like as a plot point explained in the Suicide Squad. So it's like, are they really saving others if they're just killing them as well and just taking over their bodies? I mean, like, who knows? But maybe that will be deeply explained in season 2. It also kind of reminds me of a plot point in Eternals with Druig, because Druig was like, I don't want fucking humans killing each other. I'm gonna just take over their minds and just have
except
them.
Druig isn't killing anyone.
Yeah, except Druig isn't killing anyone. He's like, in a sense, like protecting people to where they don't kill themselves. But with Goff, she's sending butterflies to go take these motherfuckers out. And it's kind of sad how, like, they'll take over their minds, but yeah, they also have, like, their memories and how they were as a person. It's pretty deep.
And it's even weirder, and that's why part of me thinks that Goff is just being manipulative, because you also have other butterflies, like I don't know if it's a right-hand man, but the guy who was playing the police officer's right-hand man, that guy, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He said humans are pathetic. So obviously they have some sort of,
like
issue
vendetta
with humans.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got that. And speaking of, like, all that stuff, like, Economos were freaking tough. My guy's getting bullied.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's sad, man. Dude's making people cry. James Gunn made people cry over a beard. It's crazy. Beard.
James Gunn is wild.
James Gunn is wild. Also, like, loved not only that, but it was nice seeing, like, I'm not a big fan of, like, the whole, like, seeing, like, past people thing, like kind of like the ghost aspect, like the mental ghost aspect.
Like with his dad.
Yeah, with his dad.
And it was also one of those things. It's like he seems like he's kind of going crazy, but then it was just kind of dropped.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why do we need that? It did kind of seem like a random thing thrown in, but it's whatever. But James Gunn has to stop making me think Vigilante's dead.
Oh yeah, his dude.
Man, Jesus. And also, for a moment when Harcourt got shot, a part of me was like, oh no, she's gonna die. But then another part of me realized, and this is why sometimes news and stuff can ruin some things, but not only was season 2 confirmed before the season finale came out, so I was like, okay, maybe she's not dead. Then I remembered it's apparently Harcourt will appear in another DC thing at some point, and so I was like, okay, well, she can't die then. So
yeah,
so that was kind of tough, but yeah, no one died.
Yeah, unfortunately, Econogoat, like, suffered, like, from, like, suffered from shit writing, stumbled over a goddamn fence post, and then got his leg broken. She was horrible.
I like that.
And then he crawled all the way over to the field. What a fucking G. Crawled all the way over there.
My guy tripped and his bone sticking out. He's like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. It's like, my leg.
My leg. But Yeah, I saw some people confused sort of later in the episode when, Hardcore and Vigilante were down, and then Autobio goes out and just starts murking people. I saw some people confused that are like, wait, like she can just do all this stuff now? And I think people miss that she has the training. Her whole thing was that she hadn't actually killed anyone before, and she has never actually been in the field, but she has had the training, so it's not. So that checked out for me. But like the action sequence of them all going, infiltrating everything was freaking sick. Hardcore Vigilante and Peacemaker were just popping off, especially Peacemaker with that shield. The way he just uppercut someone and just slammed them and
fucking shot the shield and then it fucking got caught in their face.
Yeah, freaking crazy. Crazy.
I know that shit was crazy. But I love the helmets, like the Human Torpedo.
Yeah. And
the Sonic Boom. That shit was dope.
I thought it was hilarious.
Human Torpedo!
And then bonked her. That was good.
But that was also cool, like fucking using the Human Torpedo to kill the cow.
Yeah. But she was all like woozy, like ready to stand up, and she was like, what the? And then she just launches into it.
Oh man,
brought by. Hate to see it.
And then we didn't talk about this, but then you see, like, of course, after everything's done, we see the Justice League.
Of course,
we see the silhouettes of the Flash, Aquaman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and then we see Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller.
Yeah, and of course, Peacemaker's like, you're late, you fucking dickheads.
Yeah. You late, you fucking dickheads.
Go fuck another fish.
Go fuck another fish, asshole. Like, I just love it.
Aquaman's like, I fucking hate this rumor.
Yeah, but he's like, it's not a rumor. He's like, fuck you, Barry.
And of course, with that comes controversy.
Yeah.
But before we get into a little bit of the controversy, I want to talk about how they shot that. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna quote James Gunn here. He said, quote, "I think before we ever shot the show, we talked to Jason Momoa about it. We were like, listen, Peacemaker says you fuck fish all the time." And we were a little afraid he would be upset, but he just laughed. He was cool. So he was pretty much on board from the beginning. And then Ezra, I just found out through some common friends, like my movies a lot. And so I asked if he would come in and shoot his scene, and he kindly agreed to do that. Actually, Marvel shot Ezra for us while we were shooting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And then James Gunn explained that, like, the cameo was sort of part of a quid pro quo scenario, and it turns out the actor who played Myrn, who's gonna be playing probably the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, actually shot his audition on the set of Peacemaker using the DC crew. So it was in a sense, Marvel kind of owed DC. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, but then with that comes a controversy. There's multiple controversies, all stemming from, you guessed it, the Snyder fans. Jesus. I think one of the controversies is they're mad that they felt that Aquaman and the Flash, these versions felt disrespected, and it felt like it came out of the Joss Whedon version. I didn't feel that at all. When I watched it, I was like, this actually falls in line with the Snyder cut, because in the Snyder cut, there was a lot more banter between Flash and Aquaman, a lot more, them butting heads, especially during the Superman fight. So I thought it made perfect sense, just because he says, like, he was like, I don't even know. I don't know what I truly don't know what the complaint really is, other than, oh, they made a joke, they disrespected them. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. I think it was cool. Like, I mean, people just can't fucking enjoy things. Like, I mean, it was cool to see fucking Aquaman and Ezra Miller and shit, but I mean, whatever. People gotta complain, I guess.
People gotta complain. By people, we mean Snyder fans can never be happy. But along with that, you'll notice that two characters are, missing, which is Batman and Cyborg. And initially, when the episode came out, all this backlash towards James Gunn because people can't use their brains. And then it came out Joss Whedon, Jesus, James Gunn was in an interview with Variety, and he said that he couldn't use them because he said he couldn't. He knows why, but he doesn't know if he can say why. So obviously it's a Warner Brothers thing. And then after that, it turns out he actually did have stand-ins there for Batman and Cyborg. The stand-in actor for Batman posted on his Instagram saying that, you know, in the Batman suit, the Affleck Batman suit, that him and the Cyborg stand-in got cut out. So obviously all this misplaced anger towards James Gunn because people just love to just automatically go to shit on someone when they don't know the full fucking story, because Batman and Cyborg weren't in it. So now obviously all this people are, you know, mad at Warner Brothers and stuff like that, which, I mean, you know, makes sense with all the behind the scenes stuff, especially with Ray Fisher. It makes sense that he was sort of scrubbed out. Obviously he shouldn't have been, but like it makes sense that Warner Brothers would make him do that. But as far as Batman goes, I feel people are like, oh, it's because they don't respect Affleck's version or whatever, and they want to erase him, whatever. But it's like if they didn't want to do that, they wouldn't have Affleck in the Flash movie. You know what I mean? I feel like they just erased the Batman in there because they weren't sure where this was going to fall in the timeline, and they didn't know whether it would be Affleck or Keaton's version, so they just erased him. So I don't think the Batman part was that deep, but the Cyborg part, yeah, they definitely did that because of the whole drama and shit with Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
Either way, can we just be happy that they were even in there?
That's exactly what I'm saying, bro. Like, it was just cool to see, like, Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa have, like, you know, their little cameo.
And also, like the Superman was clearly Henry Cavill's version. Like, what did we see Henry Cavill? Was it Henry Cavill? No, it was another stand-in who also posted his suit. It was the Justice League suit. But it was clearly supposed to be Henry Cavill's Superman. Which, all that does is tell me that maybe we're not done with that version of Superman. Hopefully, maybe. Please.
Stop.
Listen, if they felt like they wanted to bring a different Superman version in, they would have, you know, erased him too. I'm just saying. I don't want to.
Cavill's the best Superman. Just kidding.
But the stand-in actor for the Superman looked like he looked like Henry Cavill. It was actually kind of weird. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But yeah. So that is the Peacemaker finale. Do you have any final thoughts?
I think it was a good finale. I'm excited for season 2 for sure. Okay, I can't wait to see. I want to see more of Judo Master. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I thought he'd be in the show more. I was kind of surprised that he wasn't in that much.
Considering he was like, I feel like, well, I mean, it's just an intro, and my mind is at like an intro, like kind of like has like meaning towards like the actual show. Since like I thought like, you know, Judo Master was on like Peacemaker's shoulder, I thought they were gonna have like a moment, or Judo Master would be part of the actual team. But
they almost
not.
did.
Yeah,
yeah, but there's always season 2. But what were your overall thoughts on the show as a whole? Yeah,
I think it's really good. It's definitely, of course, you know, this is like the DCEU's like first live action show. I honestly want to see more. I want to see where they would take it. The live action like aspect for the DCEU in terms of shows.
Would you say it's the best superhero show of all time?
Oh no, fuck no.
Yeah, I agree. I've been seeing a lot of that though. They're like, "This is the best superhero TV show," and I'm like, it's up there though.
I mean, it's definitely up there. And
but Daredevil
of course,
exists.
You know, is that and it's that good because it's written and directed by James Gunn. But still, it's also like one of the things where it's like, I mean, it wouldn't be of all time. It's kind of shushing it right there.
Definitely. But yeah, I really like the show as a whole as well. I went in not knowing what to expect, especially considering the aftermath of the Suicide Squad. I didn't know. I trusted that James Gunn would make a good TV show. I was not worried about that, but I was worried that I maybe wouldn't care about the character. I wasn't sure about. Well, actually, I was sure about. I was going to say I wasn't sure if John Cena could put in a layered performance, but we saw that in the Suicide Squad, so that wasn't really a huge concern. But as far as like the team goes, with Harcourt and Economos and stuff like that, who are some were present in the Suicide Squad, I wasn't sure if I'd care about them either. Because I was like, yeah, they were cool in the Suicide Squad, but would 8 episodes of them work? But of course, it's James Gunn, so should have been worried at all. And obviously, James Gunn somehow takes this guy who you fucking hate at the end of the Suicide Squad and end up making you really like him and feel for him and root for him. And so now I'm really trying to rewatch the Suicide Squad with this added layer to Peacemaker, and I want to see what that if that does anything for the Suicide Squad. I'm sure it will.
Oh yeah. Also, they just love jabbing you in the fucking heart, pun intended. With this scene of Peacemaker just killing Flag over and over.
Yeah, they played that shit like 3 or 4 times during the show. I'm like, why you got to do this to me, man?
I was like, dude, like, I mean, because like you can also tell how much that shit affected him. Like you can tell,
which is cool.
It is cool
because it's like, yeah, fucking James Gunn. James Gunn obviously knew that Rick Flag's death would fucking hit different because he wrote this show before the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude's a genius.
Dude is a genius.
What would you rate the show?
I rate the show an 8.5 out of 10.
I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. Really good. Really, really good. Easily one of DC's best.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, by far.
Yeah.
Because, DCU's trash. I'm just kidding. I mean, it kind of is, but,
I wanted to see... I want to see what I want to see next season. I want to see more of Vigilante's serious side. I would like to see that a little bit more. Now it's like, of course, Vigilante is fun. He's funny and like he brought a lot of humor to the show. But I don't want it to be like a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where it's too much humor and like just not enough seriousness, especially when it comes to characters. I feel like the overall like tone of the show, it balanced it out. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the characters, like, I don't want Vigilante to be a total like humor fest,
Yeah.
Like, imagine seeing Vigilante with the skills he has, but in fucking anger mode. That shit would be fucking awesome.
And we kind of saw that in the prison a little bit.
Yeah, we did see that.
And that shit was cool as fuck.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to see that. It'd also be great. I mean, you always want these characters to be layered. That's what makes it interesting, right? So, you got to add that extra layer to Vigilante. We get a little bit of it, but yeah, it should definitely be expanded on. And part of me thinks that maybe it wasn't expanded upon as much as maybe it could have been because the role had to be recast like in the middle of shooting. Or like 3 episodes in, they recast. And the previous actor didn't seem anything at all like I don't remember the actor's name for current Vigilante, but he didn't seem like him at all. So
Adrian Chase,
yeah,
the same Adrian Chase from Arrow.
No,
yes,
dumbass.
It is. It's the same one.
No,
yes, it is.
No, it isn't, dumbass.
It is.
No, it's not, dumbass.
Shut up. No, I know it's not the same one from Arrow, but it's funny just how they have. I mean, it's just the same one.
Yeah,
like the same like version of Vigilante. What you call? What if he gets a new suit and he's like the Prometheus? How would you feel?
That'd be pretty sick.
He gets like a Prometheus like costume. Nah, I feel like this costume is really good.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
But yeah, I'm actually surprised at throughout the series there was actually less action than I expected.
Yeah,
which is fine by me.
Definitely a lot of exposition.
Yeah,
which I know you love dialogue.
Love me some dialogue.
But man, I love the turning point of the show, aka what I learned in my directing class, the fulcrum of the team when like Adebayo puts on the helmet and sees that Mern's a fucking butterfly. That was a turning point for sure.
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck. Oh no.
Yeah, and my thing was like I thought they were gonna make Hardcore a butterfly or have her like already be a butterfly, but she's just a regular person because like she walks up to fucking like Mern out about she knows. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, huh? Imagine Goth becomes Hardcore.
I mean, oh, actually, speaking of that, I thought it was kind of, I don't know if weird's the right word, but like the fact that Goth is just kind of chilling with Peacemaker.
Well, yeah, because like I mean, she doesn't. I mean, yeah, because she doesn't hate. She doesn't hate Peacemaker.
But I guess he also has like nothing left either. So
yeah,
okay, I should say I don't think they have genders.
Smashing either way. I mean,
what? Excuse me? Want to run that by me again?
You want to cut that out of the video?
Nah, I'm not cutting it out. That's staying in.
No,
because don't forget, Goff was also in that guy. So
what guy?
The political guy, the politician. I think he was. Remember the?
You're right. You're right. Then she went in, and then he went to my Asian wife, my Asian crush of the series.
I'm still sad she got taken over.
Tough, I know,
but she did a really good job.
She did it. She did a really good job.
And now she's gone.
Fucking, as much as I, all the fucking racist bits in the fucking show. It's like, what did he say? Chickadee like chopsticks or some shit?
Something like that. I don't know.
I was like, oh racist. I was like, my god. And then he said something about like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah, like I want some like noodles.
It's like your people has pretty good noodles. I'm like, I'll give you that.
I was like, what the
fuck?
Oh, you want one of the bit I like too of that series? Some people did an interview with Freddie Stroma, the actor for Vigilante.
Yeah.
I love the bit of like the rock and roll bit is like, oh yeah, I love rock and roll because like it's inspired by Black culture and like I love that bit. It was
that was fun. Great.
I love that. I'm also going to talk about that later on with another piece of media.
Oh,
yeah, it's like it reminded me of Elvis.
Oh, the Elvis biopic that's coming out.
Yeah.
If they don't, they gotta. I mean, they gotta. Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they are. They're gonna.
There's no way.
Yeah, because like,
but at the same time, are they gonna like try to be like, oh, he was inspired, or are they gonna do it for real and just show that he's straight up stole everything?
Yeah,
was it he straight up stole shit? He was, but I mean, that's a different podcast.
Yeah, different podcast for a different day.
Yeah, let's move on. But yeah, Peacemaker obviously phenomenal. But that is, of course, the news of the week, which means it is time to move on to our topic this week, which is, of course, the Joel Schumacher Batman movies. This was just for full transparency. Torrin hasn't fully seen Batman and Robin.
Yeah, bro, that movie is.
He tried.
I can't. I can't. I physically cannot.
So yeah, we'll probably have the most to say about Batman Forever because that Batman Forever was just interesting.
It was interesting.
It was like just what a fascinating movie, and we're obviously going to get into it right now. But so yeah, let's just get into it. Batman Forever, of course, released in 1995 with Val Kilmer as Batman, but it starts off. Joel Schumacher seems to really like showing off the Batmobile. But too bad this Batmobile's ugly as shit. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, looks like it has like a skeleton on the front of it.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it. But yeah, so the Batmobile sucked. But Kilmer's Bat voice,
dude, his Bat voice.
I mean, his Bat voice, but it's also just his Bruce Wayne, really. But like, yeah, but his Batman voice was fucking phenomenal. Like, what was going on? He's like like you said it before we started recording. The closest actor to get to Kevin Conroy, period.
Honest, yes, exactly. I'm like, bro, like that shit is fucking. Like, I was watching it last night, and you know, I'm like, okay, we're getting a suit up, we're getting some action like with Two-Face or whatever with horrible cheetah print. My God, who designed that? Horrible. And then like I hear his voice. I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And I'm hearing him talk more. I was like, what the fuck? Is that Kevin Conroy? it's like fucking like it's like the low-key ADR like Kevin Conroy's voice over Val Kilmer. And then I'm hearing him more talk as Bruce Wayne. I was like, this motherfucker's voice. It is just interesting. I was
so
fucking
good.
mind blown. I was mind blown the whole time.
So weirdly good. It's so weirdly good. But obviously, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, Batman and Robin, but when he's suiting up, that ass shot, though.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so like his suit, Kilmer's suit looks pretty good, besides the nipples, of course. And
who thought of that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Joel Schumacher, probably. But like his cowl is a lot better and much more form-fitting to the face than Keaton's. It's a good suit. Again, besides the nipples.
I know.
Like, I don't understand this movie. But it's good and bad at the same time. Okay, but moving on to the villains. I can't believe Tommy Lee Jones even agreed to do this movie. Because like just I don't know, just the type of actor he is. It doesn't seem, but I think he did say like he did it for his kids or something. After the fact. But like his dialogue and his performance, he's basically just doing the Joker. he's basically just doing it's not all very Two-Facey, is it? He's pretty much just doing the Joker. It's
just like I think his Two-Face was pretty good. I just don't like the fucking cheetah print. That's just god awful. It's my main gripe.
I don't know what that was, but his plan in the beginning also was basically just the Joker's Batman 89.
Pretty much.
He was gonna like rain money on everything and stuff like that, and he was gonna release a fucking thing to kill everyone. And I was like, that's just the Joker. But Batman has a lot more gadgets in this one than he did in the previous Keaton films, and yeah, it was pretty cool to see. Like, as we up until that point, because the grounded sort of take on Batman is he has gadgets, but they're not like Batman has sort of like James Bond-esque gadgets usually that like are like weird and don't make a ton of sense, but they're still cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool to see. But like the CGI, I'm giving a lot of the CGI a pass because
I'm giving it a pass too
because it's the mid '90s, But the entire CG Gotham, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
No, it does not hold up at all.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Not at all.
Just like I was looking through. No, not looking through. I was like watching the movie, and like the whole helicopter scene where they go into the eye and everything. I was like, bro, this is so bad.
Yeah,
and there was another shot of like when like it's like the headquarters, like where like Nigma is working at, and you see the buildings. I'm like, this is so fucking bad. This is like a PBS like show.
Yeah, but we finally get our first look at Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne, where he meets Nigma for the first time, and boom, random Jon Favreau. There's random Jon Favreau in the background.
Man's in everything.
Man is in every. Do you see him? You see Jon Favreau?
I did see John Favreau.
He's just chilling. Why is he there? I don't know, but just Jon Favreau. But I think as time goes on, more and more people seem to dislike Jim Carrey's Riddler, but I like him a lot. Or maybe I'm just a big Jim Carrey fan, but I like him quite a bit.
It's I mean, it's okay. I just hate the fucking costume though.
The costume's cool, but the pink hair, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going with that. I like the cane though.
Yeah, the cane's cool, and he starts off with the bowler hat, but then he loses it pretty quick.
Yeah, man had a little glow up, dude. Like changed his hair and everything, got rich. Got some money on him.
I want to get to that. When we get to that, I want to talk about his look there. But at this point of the movie, because we saw him as Batman, and I was like, what the fuck? He's good as Batman. He's like a really good Batman voice. He's got like, the tone down, he's got the vibe down, and then as Bruce Wayne, I was like, he plays a really solid Bruce Wayne too. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, why am I liking this so much? I shouldn't be liking this as much as I am. But what the fuck is her name? The doctor. Do you remember her name?
Ace?
Yeah. Chase. Yeah. But like, number one, what is with Bruce and blondes? He's been with a blonde in every single one of these movies. Every single one.
I don't know, man. Oh, man. He has a thing for blondes.
He has a thing for blondes for some reason. But also, she is so Ford. Like, I was like, back off, bro. What are you doing?
She really is, like, fucking... She really was. Even towards, like, Batman, I'm just like, damn. Like...
Especially towards Batman. I was like, bro, like, back the fuck off. What are you doing? Like, just weird infatuation with him.
Fucking crazy as fuck, bro.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. At this point, and even when I started, I completely forgot Robin was in it. But I really like the nod to the original Robin costume with the flying Grayson.
The flying Graysons. Yeah, I love that. I like that.
Even though when Two-Face came in and he's like gonna fucking kill everyone or whatever until Batman shows his face. Like, Bruce was really ready to expose himself as Batman in that moment. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm Bruce Wayne. I'm like, oh shit.
He's like, I'm Batman, and I was like, oh man, he's really like
he don't care.
He don't care. I was like, I thought that was really freaking cool, and obviously that doesn't succeed, but I like the fact that he was willing to do it. But even though it's not like 100% accurate origin for Dick, I think it's close enough that I'm not bothered by it. It's pretty good. Like, there's
you're right. This is. I was just about to ask. Like, this is Dick. I see the fucking costume.
Yeah.
Fucking, just a costume ruined by nipples, bro. Like, it's ruined.
Yeah. you hate to see it.
Yeah, because like they gave Dick like elements of Jason Todd.
Yeah, definitely.
Like some angsty kid who like. I mean, well, of course, losing his parents is like, it's traumatic. But still, it's like, he's like this cool kid. He's rides a motorcycle and shit.
Yeah, I wrote that down because like that was the aspect I didn't like.
Very Jason Todd worthy, and I'm like don't do that. Like, this is not it.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny when they take him in. He's Bruce and Dick is like ready to leave. He's like, I'm out of here. I did this just for just to get rid of like the police or whatever the fuck. And Bruce and Alfred are emotionally manipulating Dick hard as fuck.
I know.
Bruce is like talking about the motorcycle or whatever, and he's like, maybe if someone can fix it up, they can have it. And then Alfred comes in with food, and he's like, I made food, and Dick's is like, oh, I'm not really hungry or whatever. He was like, oh, I guess I'll feed this to the dogs then, and walks away. I was like, man, they are guilt tripping this dude hard. But
no.
But like, and then there was that fucking scene, and this is where I was like, okay, like at this point I was like, there's some like bad elements to this, but I'm really fucking enjoying this. I haven't seen a scene yet where I'm like, that's really bad. But like the scene where Dick is hanging his clothes to dry
Oh
is the
my
most extra
god.
shit I've ever seen. I was like, what the fuck? That was the first time where I was like, oh, that's just bad. That's just bad. Ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like, oh, don't worry, Alfred. I got my own clothes, and he's just doing some shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, why? What is the
I,
reason?
Alfred's like, okay, nigga, like, calm down.
Yeah, then after that, I was like, okay, I officially don't like this dude. Like, this motherfucker's flipping around for no reason around the mansion. Like, I know he's an acrobat, but it's ridiculous even for this movie. And obviously he's a douche. Like, I even wrote here, like, he has some Jason Todd elements in him as well. Because he's like brash or whatever, and then he fucking steals the Batmobile. Oh, it's fucking stupid. I don't know. I was like, I don't mind this dick. And then after that, I was like, man, fuck this guy. I don't like him at all. But like the way Bruce, because he fucking gets his way into the Batcave because he's an asshole. The way Bruce talks to Dick about not killing Two-Face and then refusing to train him was very Batman.
That is very Batman.
I was like, that's Batman. And then again, I was like, what is happening? Why is this so good? And part of me feels like these aspects that I thought were very accurate and very good that are just kind of tossed in the trash in Batman and Robin, which I'll get to. This is the only one of Schumacher's movies that actually says it's a Tim Burton production. It's directed by Joel Schumacher, but it seems like Tim Burton had some say in some of this stuff because the Tim Burton production tag is gone in Batman and Robin. So it seems like Joel Schumacher had more freedom to do his Joel Schumacher-ness stuff in Batman and Robin, which obviously turned out how that turned out. But yeah, I thought that scene between, convincing him or trying to convince him not to kill Two-Face was so Batman. It was so Batman, and obviously Two-Face ends up dying anyway. But but like, okay, so here's where I'm going to talk about Jim Carrey's his new look. That's not when he's not in his Riddler mode. He's obviously wearing a wig or whatever because he has pink hair by that point. But when Jim Carrey has his like normal hair, he like in some scenes he low key looks like Christian Bale.
You're right. I definitely saw like that whenever I was drifting in and out of consciousness. I saw like the at the party, where he's with Drew Barrymore. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker suave as shit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the way he had his hair, but I was like, he really looks like Christian Bale in some of these scenes. And I'm like, do I want to see Jim Carrey in a bat suit? Kind of do. But, like, oh, you know what?
What?
It just clicked. I think it just clicked why I don't like Dick. There's elements, obviously, to Jason Todd that I am not a huge fan of. But Dick kind of reminds me of Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
I think there's some element. Would you agree that there's some elements of him in there?
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's probably why I'm not liking him, or at least part of why I'm not liking him. But and then it seems like, and I'm gonna get into this in Batman and Robin a little bit. But like Bruce says, I literally wrote it down. He said, quote, "I've never been in love before." I was like, bro really just forgets about every love interest he has in every single one of these movies. Like, it's clearly supposed to be in the same continuity. Dr. Chase or whatever literally makes a reference to Catwoman. So it's obviously, it's in the same timeline. It's in the same continuity, although it might get erased in The Flash, but it's clearly in the same continuity, and he's just like, I've never been in love before. Yes, you have, bruh. Vicky Vale, Catwoman. Like, what is your deal, my guy? I don't understand that. But it's Bruce. Then he like goes to Dr. Chase as Batman, and I was like, honestly, that's kind of an L that Bruce just allowed her to indulge her Batman fantasies. I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. I was like, why would you do that? But I guess it also made her realize that she didn't want him. So it's cool, I guess.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that shit was weird.
I'm like, why are you thinking about another person? I mean, it's actually me, but technically another person.
Yeah,
right in front of me. I'd be sick.
And it's like obsession level, which is even weirder. You know, it's a pretty cool sequence when Two-Face and Riddler infiltrate Wayne Manor in the Batcave. I thought that was pretty cool, especially because, like, what do they do? Like, Riddler gets Bruce Wayne's memories or whatever from his invention, which I actually thought that plot point was pretty interesting. I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of felt something like a plan out like Batman the Animated Series. I was like, I'm on board with this
for sure. I liked it a lot. Something you can play around with. Just needs to be executed a bit better.
Yeah, but I mean, apparently this movie was supposed to be darker. I don't know. I forgot exactly what changed, but you know, there's people out there who were like, release the Schumacher cut and whatnot. But I kind of doubt that'll ever happen. But I wish we got this more in the movie, and part of what I like, something I'm very excited for in the Batman. I love Batman figuring out the riddles.
Also, yeah, gives me fucking memories of when I would try to solve Riddler trophies in Arkham Knight, Arkham games.
It actually adds to the detective aspect of Batman, which up until what we're gonna get in the Batman hasn't really been seen. We get aspects of it in like the Dark Knight and stuff like that, but it's not like a main focus. Like, he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective, and a lot of the time it's very James Bond than it is, you know, a real detective film, you know what I mean? So that's something that's going to be super exciting in the Batman. But and at this point he upgrades his suit, him and Robin, and the suit's not much of an upgrade, is it?
Nope.
Like, he loses the yellow bat logo, which is sick, to just the flat, like, it's not good. he went from hey, that suit's actually pretty good to that's not great. He went from carryover from Burton's universe to, okay, now we're fully in Schumacher's universe, you know what I mean? And then, of course, we get another ass shot, because Schumacher seems to love his ass shots. But Robin's suit, though, it's not that bad. It's not great either, but it's not bad.
Like the cape.
Yeah, and also nipples.
The nipples. Yeah.
But you know, improve the cape, take out the nipples is actually a pretty good suit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's honestly like, actually, I don't know.
It's a little too fake a little too fake muscles and stuff like that. But it's not horrible.
Cool. Yeah, it's not horrible.
But then we get into, like, this is where the movie, besides the whole dick stuff, this is where the movie starts to lose me a little bit. There's that weird underwater sequence that's a little hard to follow. It just wasn't very good. But, like, it was like an okay third act and an okay final, you know, fight. I like the part where he had to choose between Dr. Chase and Robin, and then he asked Riddler or Riddle, and I thought that was a pretty neat moment, which also sort of reminded me of Batman the Animated Series in a way. But, like, Two-Face even died like the Joker. You know how he fell? I was like, it's like they didn't even try to hide it.
Yeah, obviously they were trying to. They wanted to recreate another Joker moment with Two-Face, in which I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I think it's like, it's cool and it can work, but, like, I mean, to me, like, I've been watching Batman content for, like, as long as I can remember. They're just, like, totally different, like, characters. So it's like, when you do something like that, it just kind of throws me off.
Because Two-Face is usually, like, sort of soft-spoken, and obviously you can, like, actually see the differentiation of the two sides. You know, because, Two-Face is, or not Two-Face, Harvey speaks normally, and then Two-Face is kind of like, he's the darker version.
Yeah, and then like like pretty much like like kind of like you said, he's soft spoken. He's more like he's insane, but yeah, he's like collected.
Yeah,
and
this one he's just cackling,
like crazy.
He's just the Joker.
I'm like, yeah, it's probably that explains why they were going with that cheetah print look.
Yeah,
because like they're trying to like make it to where like he's like crazy and everything, but still it's like it just doesn't work.
I think maybe it would have been cooler if they made it if they were gonna go with that sort of characterization of Two-Face. Maybe say like he was influenced or inspired by the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could have been cool, but yeah, that's pretty much the end of Batman Forever. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be a very unpopular opinion, but I low key like this more than Batman Returns. It was more serious than because I'd seen this movie previously, but I hadn't seen it in years. It was more serious than I remember, and even the campy parts weren't as extreme as I remember. Val Kilmer was actually amazing, and I think watching this now, I think his portrayal deserves more credit. And my biggest issues with this movie is pretty much just pacing, and sometimes, as I pointed out, it gets a little overly campy, like the Dick, drying his fucking clothes scene. But I seriously thoroughly enjoyed this movie, which I really was not expecting. Like I went into these movies expecting to hate them, and especially or Forever specifically, I came out, I was like, I really fucking like this. Why did I like this so much? So I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 7 out of 10 too.
What were your thoughts on it, like as a whole?
As a whole, I think I mean, kind of like you said, like I mean, definitely Val Kilmer's Batman is like what makes the movie like way more enjoyable, considering his voice and portrayal of Bruce Wayne and Batman. I like his costume. Kind of iffy about the Batmobile. Kind of iffy about Two-Face, but I guess it works in some sense. Chase being down fucking tremendously over Batman.
Down crazy.
It's okay. But overall, I think the movie is very, very solid. Yeah, it's kind of like a theme to where, like, you were even saying it, how, like, Val Kilmer can be, like, he's kind of, like, interpreted as, like, the Andrew Garfield of Batman.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, because obviously everyone talks about Keaton and Bale and Affleck and even now Pattinson, even though the movie's not out yet. But, like, everyone always shits on Kilmer and Clooney. Clooney we'll get to. But Kilmer, I mean, I feel like it's sort of the Andrew Garfield effect where the movie is bad, which, fair enough. And then they sort of project that onto Kilmer.
Yeah. But
take Kilmer out, put him in a better suit. Take Kilmer out and place him in let's say a Batman Returns or a Batman 89. He's great. He's really good. and obviously it's the only one he did, which is a little unfortunate. But yeah, I think his iteration, his performance as the character deserves more respect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you gave it a 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Fair. Obviously not the best movie. We're not saying the movie's great, but we're definitely saying it's solid. It's a surprisingly solid movie.
Very solid, yeah.
But yeah, so if you either haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a while and you think it's shit, maybe give it another shot. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's by that point it's like everyone's used to Burton and Batman the Animated Series is fucking the Batman the Animated Series. And so getting something maybe a little bit wackier was just super jarring at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so that's Batman Forever. Time to move on to Batman and Robin. Again, Torrin hasn't seen the movie in full because
fucking god awful.
So you don't know how far you got into it before you dropped it.
I remember the beginning. Um, like it was like Batman and Robin chasing down like Mr. Freeze, and they figure out like Mr. Freeze or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
and
so
I blanked out.
let's
I blanked
let's go
out.
through it, and you can say like that's like this is where it fucking ended. But like, so like I said earlier, the movie is noticeably missing the a Tim Burton production tag. So Burton was not on board after Batman Forever. Joel Schumacher really loves his ass shots of Batman, especially in this one. Although the Batgirl ass shot was notably missing. I wonder why. But there was tit shots because of course there were. But the Batmobile, it's even worse than Batman Forever. So I was like, man, these Batmobiles are just not it. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but like, there was a Superman reference. Clooney was like,
Superman.
"This is why Superman works alone." Basically, shits on Robin. It's like fair enough, but like, again, like the Forever Robin suit, besides the nipples, the Robin suit is pretty solid without the nipples.
I like his Robin suit a lot.
Uh,
Lose the cape, give her the nipples. Awesome.
yeah, pretty solid suit. But yeah, I don't like the Mr. Freeze design, but I don't hate Schwarzenegger in the role. I think he could actually be a pretty good Mr. Freeze if he was given like better dialogue on like some Terminator shit. I think he could actually be a solid Mr. Freeze, but the fact that he just makes a bunch of stupid ass one-liners, everybody needs to chill, and shit like that, and shit like that, like, it's fucking ridiculous, and I hate it. But like the beginning action sequence, you compare it to Batman Forever. The beginning action sequence of Batman Forever is actually pretty good, and then you compare it to the beginning action sequence of Batman and Robin, and it's fucking awful. Like, I've seen better action sequences in the CW shows. And it's like, I just wonder if, like, or not I wonder, like, Schumacher definitely had more creative freedom on this one compared to Forever. And that's why the wackiness is, like, dialed up to fucking 15 compared to Batman Forever. But, like, he gets, like, they're on, like, a rocket or whatever, and then, like, God, this movie's a fucking fever dream. George Clooney is on a rocket, and Robin fucking hangs on to it, and Mr. Freeze jumps out, and Freeze really jumped out of the rocket and deployed these like little itty bitty fairy wings, like that's gonna make it glide. But I guess it works. I don't know. I guess it works. I guess it works. I don't know. But I cut Forever some slack on the CGI department, but now that it's 1997 and this is pretty much the era where they wanted to CGI everything, but the technology just wasn't there, a lot of this looked really goddamn awful. Like, they're like sliding off buildings and they all look fucking rubbery, and I mean, it's late 90s CGI, which is I can't think of a single 90s movie that had like solid CG. There's some movies that handled it better than others, but it's pretty much all pretty dated. But yeah, this one specifically is really goddamn bad. But like, I like at this point, this is like 13 minutes into the movie, and I was already bored as fuck. I saw Batman Forever. I was like, this is surprisingly solid. Maybe Batman and Robin is the same way. And 13 minutes in, I'm like, fucking Christ, this movie. This movie's fucking boring. And it's like, I don't hate a lot of the ideas. Like, I don't hate some of the ideas with this version of Poison Ivy and the Bane stuff, but the execution is just so odd. And like, credit where credit is due, the Bane design is pretty solid, but if only he didn't fucking talk like a zombie. He's like, Bane. It's fucking weird. Like, but yeah, so they just, for Poison Ivy, they just redid the Catwoman origins in Returns for Ivy in this. Like, her boss gets like mad at her for snooping, and then he goes to kill her, and then she's like this dorky, nerdy chick, and then all of a sudden she's like this really like banging, like sultry voiced woman or whatever, and it's like it's just weird. it's just so they redid the Joker in Batman Forever, and then they redid Catwoman in Batman and Robin, essentially. But like, And at this point, it dawned on me that the scientist who tried to kill Ivy is the same guy who played Dr. Sivana's dad in Shazam.
Oh.
Whose name is John Glover, who has actually been in a few DC-related things. He was obviously in Batman and Robin and Shazam. He played Lionel Luthor in Smallville, and he played the Riddler in Batman the Animated Series.
I'm actually going to start watching Smallville, like, soon. Probably tonight.
I debated with myself whether I wanted to watch Smallville or not, and a couple of times I was like, do I want to watch Smallville? And every time I'm like, no. It's like, what, fucking 10 seasons? And it's just...
10 seasons? I can finish that shit in 3 weeks.
Yeah, you're almost fucking done with Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. Shit's easy.
Where are you on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, actually?
I'm like on season 6, episode, like, 14.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're almost there. You're almost at the end.
Could have been on season 7 if our Hulu wasn't fucking up.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Uma Thurman is...
Oh my god, I'm down bad.
Yeah. I mean...
I'm sorry.
In this, her final design is fucking weird. It does not do her
any favors. About Uma Thurman in general.
Yeah, I know. But, like, in this, specifically her Poison Ivy outfit... again, was not doing her any favors. Although in the beginning, when she like first becomes Poison Ivy, she comes out, she kind of looks comic accurate, and she looks pretty freaking good. But yeah, Uma Thurman is doing this weird British accent for her Ivy voice. I don't know what the fuck it is, but yeah, she's doing this weird British accent, and it's like for Batman and Robin, or for Batman Forever, and now Batman and Robin. All these Schumacher villains have just random women by their side, because like Two-Face had those two like devil and angel type women, which was weird on its own. I was like, okay, random, but all right. But like Freeze in this one has a woman by his side, which is weird because he's still trying to cure his wife, but like. This movie's so fucking weird. Like, Barbara in this isn't Gordon's daughter for seemingly no reason. Like, it's such a random thing to change. But, like, she's related to Alfred instead, which is, again, such a random thing to change. So I think, I forgot her name. I forgot her last name in this, but her name is still Barbara, but it's not Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Pennyworth?
No, not Barbara Pennyworth.
It's like, oh, wait, I'm looking it up.
Yeah,
right
look
now,
it up.
I was looking at. It is Barbara Wilson.
Why?
I don't know. It's like, I mean, it would be different if like they wanted to introduce another bad woman or bad girl as Alfred's daughter, which is fine.
Yeah, but you got to make it Barbara, which is
unnecessary.
It doesn't make any sense. But like, Dick is down horrendous for Barbara. He's like, God dang. But like, I'm not sure. And Barbara's character was just so fucking weird. Like, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure what Barbara's angle was. Like, she just dipped. Like, she came and then she fucking dipped. But yeah, I like the sequence. Pam tries to call out Bruce at like this public thing, or he's trying to like reveal a telescope or something or whatever the fuck. And there's not much to it. I just thought it was a really good scene. She like tries to call him out, and Bruce is just like, yeah, like, I see what you're going for, and I respect it, but like, this is not a good plan. So that was a pretty good scene. Yeah, but like, then we get to this like party sequence, and Poison Ivy's there, and she seduces like everyone, and Batman and Robin are fighting over Poison Ivy, and then Batman he takes out the Bat card, and I was like, woo, the Bat card, yeah. But fucking, yeah, Alfred is by far the most consistent character throughout these 4 movies.
Yeah,
he's consistently the GOAT. But yeah, I forgot to mention earlier. I wanted to bring this up. They're clearly treating the women in these Batman movies like James Bond girls. Are you familiar with Bond girls?
No.
Essentially, they just change every movie. His love interest just changes every movie. No matter what happens in the last one, they change every fucking movie. So that's exactly what's happening in these movies. They just change every movie, no matter how entwined they were in the previous film. Because George Clooney's Batman has another love interest in this, who's blonde, always blonde. he has another love interest in this who has no real effect on the story this time, so it's even more of an afterthought. But yeah, so a different woman. But like Barbara races bikes in this because like her parents are dead or something. Because I guess it's a requirement for Batman's recruits to be orphans. But like she races bikes and she almost dies and Dick saves her and he's like, the fuck are you doing? But yeah, it's the final design for Poison Ivy is fucking horrible. I don't know what they were thinking. It just doesn't make Uma Thurman look great. But Alfred's dying, so that's happening too. Like, this movie's so fucking all over the place. Alfred's dying. At this point, I don't even know how. It's maybe like 30 minutes into the movie, maybe an hour, maybe. Like we're at least halfway through the movie, and the movie already feels like it's goddamn 3 hours long. I was like, holy shit! Like I remember, I was like, we're nearing the end, right? And I pause it, and it's like there's an hour left, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But both Dick and Barbara found out about Batman and the Batcave and all that because they were both nosy fucking nerds. Dick gets in there because he's doing acrobat shit and he fucking kicks the door open or whatever. And Barbara figures it out because Alfred's fucking dying, and he gives her a thing to give to Alfred's brother, and she's like, well, I'm definitely getting into this. I'm figuring this shit out, and gets into it, and, you know. But Alfred, the goat that he is like, yeah, I definitely knew you were gonna fucking be snooping and shit. So he pre-recorded a thing. And he was like, I knew you were going to be a nosy little bitch, so, like, here's a fucking, I made you a goddamn Batgirl suit. And she was like, sick. But they get new suits, and it's the suits with the silver lining and shit, and it just does not look good. And the final battle was also fucking cheeks. There was a scene at the end where Batman convinced Mr. Freeze to do the right thing, which I actually thought was pretty solid. But man, and it's like, by the end, this movie felt like it was goddamn 5 hours long. It was so boring. Everyone in it sucked. George Clooney, I didn't even talk about George Clooney at all. George Clooney has the ingredients to be the best Batman, but him or Joel Schumacher, I don't know who, just does nothing with it. He's a good Bruce Wayne because he's fucking George Clooney. Like, he's just kind of automatically a really goddamn good Bruce Wayne. But, like, nothing...
I dropped my mic.
Oh my god. That was terrifying. What the fuck was that? God damn it, what was I talking about? Man just screamed out of nowhere. Jesus. But yeah, he's George Clooney, so he's automatically a good Bruce Wayne. But like, nothing changes when he's in the suit. He doesn't, when he's in the suit, I'm like, that's Batman. I'm like, no, that's George Clooney in a Batman suit. Like, he does nothing to differentiate himself from Bruce Wayne and Batman. He's just Bruce Wayne in a Batman suit. And which just sucks because, again, he has all the ingredients to be the best Batman. He has a fucking phenomenal voice. He's George Clooney, so he automatically has like that sort of vibe to be Bruce Wayne. But yeah, he just does nothing with it. The changes to Barbara's character are completely unnecessary, and Dick is just fucking insufferable in this. The best part of this movie is Alfred. Think about that. The best thing in a Batman movie is Alfred. That should not happen. that should not happen. But yeah, this movie was fucking atrocious. Atrocious. I didn't expect to dislike it as much as I did. I was like, because I went in, I know what Batman and Robin is. I know it's a fucking trash camp fest. But even then, I was still like, Jesus Christ, this movie is fucking god awful. There are aspects of it that I semi like Alfred. And there was some stuff towards the end I didn't mind and stuff like that. So I didn't think it was like the worst movie I've ever seen. but it was still fucking atrocious. So I gave it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, and I gave it a negative because I couldn't finish it. Bro, you know how bad a movie gotta be before my TV started malfunctioning?
What was it even doing?
Like it was like what happened was, first off, my internet went off, right? I was like, okay, it's just an internet problem. Then my Hulu crashed, and then I was like, it's a sign I shouldn't watch the movie, so I just didn't watch it. But then to add on to that, when I try to watch it, I kept falling asleep, so I just exited out.
Yeah, fair enough. Shit really, like, I even thought at some point I paused the movie because I was like it really felt like I was there for like 4 hours. And I looked at the time. By the time the movie was finished, only 2 hours had passed. I literally thought, I was convinced by the end. I was like, did I pause the movie and go do something for a while and then come back to this? But no, it was just 2 hours and it felt like a fucking eternity. 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. I don't regret it. Like that. And Batman and Robin was like the only Batman movie I hadn't seen. I'd seen clips of it and stuff like that, but like I'd seen obviously Batman 89 and Batman Returns, and I'd seen Batman Forever years ago. But yeah, I'd never seen Batman and Robin except clips here and there. And man, that shit was bad. So bad. But yeah, that was the Schumacher Batman movies. Batman Forever, surprisingly solid. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give Kilmer a chance. Bring him back. Screw Keaton. Throw him out of the Flash movie. Reshoot everything with Kilmer. Don't actually do that. Don't do that. Apparently he's hard to work with, and that's part of the reason why he didn't return as Batman. But he was surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. And Batman and Robin was goddamn atrocious. But yeah, that was the Joel Schumacher Batman movies. Next week, of course, we're going to be continuing Batman month with the Dark Knight trilogy. Hip hip hooray. And of course, the week after that, it's the Batman time. Just fucking nuts. It's so close.
So close.
Scarily close. But yeah, is that the show?
That is the show. But thank you guys for listening to the Avengers podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengers on Twitter. That's AVENGE nerds, all one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at Torrentino on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
They can reach me at itszenith_ on Twitter.
Sounds good. We have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. Those will be linked in the show notes. You can check our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You could also review the show and app on Apple Podcasts. If you could leave 5 stars in review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Avengers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later. Never goddamn watching Batman and Robin again.
Oh, I should have said that. Don't watch Batman and Robin.
Yeah, don't watch Batman and Robin.